All right, guys. So this morning I'm going to take you guys down to the deer pens and give you an update on the deer. You guys haven't seen the deer in a while, so I thought it'd be a good time to go ahead and take you guys down there and give you an update on what the deer are doing. But first, I want to show you a few things that I picked up on my vacation recently. So I spent the last week on a cruise to Alaska. Me and Tammy went up and got to go to Alaska this year, something that we've been wanting to do for a really long time, and we finally made it happen this year. So we flew out on the 6th and we flew in on the 14th, and we went from Seattle all the way up to Skagway and then back down to Victoria, Canada, and then flew home. Flew into LAX and then flew home from there. So we ended up getting home about 2 o'clock in the morning on Sunday night, and then had to get up early and go pick the dogs up from the boarding and get ready to go to work. And ended up having a pretty late night at work last night. So I didn't get home till 2 o'clock last night. So I'm pretty tired this morning. Haven't had a lot of sleep, traveling all day on Sunday and then working all night till 2 o'clock in the morning last night. So I decided I wasn't going to go fishing today. I'm going to just hang out at the house, take care of the animals, get a little bit of rest before I have to go in to work again this afternoon. So I wanted to show you guys what I picked up on my vacation and take you guys down to do an update on the deer. So we'll start right here with this whale vertebrae that I've picked up. So this is from some sort of whale. I thought that was a pretty cool find right there. I picked up this set of antlers. This is from a blacktail buck, still in the velvet. So the guy told me he shot that deer in 1997. So that's an old set of antlers right there. So that was a pretty cool find. Add that guy to my antler collection. I also picked up this jawbone from a walrus. So I thought that was a pretty cool deal. They had a whole bunch of these, and I thought that'd be a pretty cool souvenir from Alaska. The only thing is, they don't have the teeth. Those teeth are pretty valuable, so I'm sure they pull those out and sell those separate. But I think as a project, maybe in the wintertime, when I got more time to do things, I might try to carve these teeth and replace them with some wood. So, upcoming project, make some walrus teeth, carve some walrus teeth out of wood to put in that jawbone. So one thing I did want to do when I got up there, I wanted to get some fishing lures from Alaska, something that's local, and bring it back to Oklahoma and catch some fish on it. But we really didn't go to any tackle stores. We, got dropped off, or got off of the ship pretty close to where the port was, and there was no tackle stores in the areas. There's no antique stores or anything like that. It's more just everything's kind of geared towards the tourists. And we ended up getting quite a few things. Tammy got some knickknacks and some other kinds of things that she liked. These are the kind of things that I like. Deer antlers and fishing lures and bones and stuff like that. So that's what I ended up kind of picking out for me. But I did end up buying one fishing lure, and that is this little fly right here. This is a little mouse. So I thought that was the coolest one I could find there in, I believe in Juneau, Alaska. I found that in actually a hardware store. Had a few lures, not a big selection, but they did have this guy right here. So I thought that was pretty cool. That's a Jackson Cardinal Flies, made in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. But this came from the Tongass General Store there in, I believe, in Juneau, Alaska. So I'm going to get out the next couple of days, or maybe tomorrow if I have time. If I don't have too late a night at work tonight, if things go a little bit better, I can get up and go fishing in the morning. The weather's supposed to be cooling down here in western Oklahoma. We got a cold front coming in. Going to knock the temperatures down into the 80s. Going to give us a little bit of a chance of rain. So, be some good weather to get out and try to do some fishing. So we're going to get out and do that hopefully tomorrow. Going to get that guy out. There's been, I've got a rod and reel that I've been wanting to catch a fish on all year. And I'll show it to you guys when I get ready to go out and catch a fish on this fly. So that's something we may do here in the next couple of days. But for now, I want to take you guys down and give you an update on the deers and let you know what's going on with that whole situation and show you how much the bucks have grown and everything. So what I'll do is I'll just set the camera up down there and just shoot some footage of the deer, and then kind of do a voiceover and kind of explain what's going on with them. So just give me a few minutes to get down there, get the camera set up, and then I'll be right back. Okay guys, I guess I need to start off by apologizing for not keeping you guys updated on the deer like I said I was going to. I guess the main reason for that is it took me a while to get over what ended up happening in the buckshot. So if you watch some of the early deer videos, you'll remember I mentioned that he hadn't been feeling well all of the late winter and early into the spring. We could tell something was off with him. We knew he wasn't feeling well, and we did everything we knew to do to kind of get him better. We gave him wormer. We gave him some antibiotics. We put antibiotics in his water. We did everything we knew to do to kind of get him over whatever was ailing him. And we ended up losing him a couple of months ago. So it's taken me a while to kind of get over that. You know, he was born right here on this farm. Would have been 6 years ago on June the 15th, would have been his 6th birthday. And that just so happens to be me and Tammy's anniversary. So he was a special deer for us, and it really hurt us when we ended up losing him. As you guys who've lost pets or dogs or whatever you guys may have is well aware how much that hurts. But you can tell they have put on a lot of antlers since you guys have seen them last. So we have Boaz in the front right there. Got Topaz, Ruby, and then you got Little Man in the back right there. So Boaz is going to be a mainframe 5x5. He's going to have a few kickers. That G2 there on the left is split. He's got an extra there on the right before the G1. And he's got a couple of extras coming off the side, as you can see right there on the right. So they're pretty much done with their mainframes right now. They're just adding a little bit of tine length and whatever they got to finish up. But what you see right now is pretty much going to be what they're going to have throughout the rest of the summer. They're not going to really add a bunch of points at this point. So they're just kind of wrapping it up, adding tine length, and getting ready to shed that velvet. So Boaz has really come on strong. He is a really nice buck for a 2-year-old. I'm pretty happy with what he's done and what he gained from last year. He gained a lot of mass, and he gained a few points. He was a mainframe 4x4 last year, pretty clean. and he's added a couple extra points to his main beam, and some kickers right there. So I think coming up right here, the girls kind of walk off here in a second, and we get a good look at the bucks together here in just a second coming up. And I wanted to show you what Little Man's doing, because I'm really happy with the way he's come on. As you know, he was a tiny little spike last year, but that's not the case this year. So what I'm going to do is, when he steps up here in a second, I'll give you a look at him, and I'm going to take a still shot of him and give you guys a real good look at what he's doing. It's kind of hard to see right there, but as he finishes out his main beams, he's going to end up being a 5x5 at the end of the year with a couple of extras. He's got one extra there, I know, on his left. Just give it a few more seconds, and I've got that still shot coming up. Well, you can tell really good that he's going to be a 5x5. So right here it is. If you look right there on the end of his main beams, you can see two little points coming up, and that's going to make him a 10-point buck. So he went from a spike to a 10-point buck in 1 year, which I'm really happy about that. So I'm going to end up leaving you guys today with a video of Topaz's twins. Now, she had twins back in late May, and Ruby never did have any babies, so she's done having babies. She's 13 years old. You can see her standing right there. So she's not going to have any more babies, I don't believe. But Topaz had us a set of twin girls. So we got two little Dauphins this year. They're both doing really good. And I want to show you those guys here in just a second as the video keeps coming up. So there's Topaz right there. She's looking a little bit thin. She's nursing two babies, so she's getting pretty old herself. She's 6 years old this year, so she's getting on up there in deer age. But she's doing really well taking care of those babies. We'll just give it a few more seconds here. I think that clip is coming up here in just a second. You watch, I'm walking up to the fence. That's what Boaz is looking at. He's going to turn and run here in just a second as I walk up to the fence. Man, I tell you, he has turned into a beautiful buck. Yeah, there he walked off. I think he comes back, though, here in just a minute. I should have cut this clip down just a little bit more. We'll just keep it rolling right here. So as we're waiting for that clip to come up, I just want to kind of mention that it is a kind of a cloudy, cool morning in western Oklahoma this morning. We're going to have some really nice weather coming up later on this week. It's going to be 100 degrees today, but I think tomorrow it's supposed to start cooling down and getting in the 80s actually, and got a few chances of rain, so that'll be really good for us here in the middle of the summertime. We usually don't get much rain in July and August here in western Oklahoma, so it's going to be a little bit of relief from the heat. There he comes back right there. Look what a beautiful deer that is. So you'll notice on his brow tine there on the right, that split on that brow tine, that's not genetic. That is from an injury he had earlier in the year, where he got his antler in the fence and actually damaged the velvet. And anytime those bucks damage the velvet, a lot of times where the damage occurs, they're going to grow a point out of that spot. So that's what a lot of people don't know. There's a lot of these deer that grow kickers and splits and stuff like that. Those could be more from injuries really than from genetics. So that's what that is. That split on that brow tine is from an injury. So he's fixing to take off and run. I'm walking up to the fence, I believe, right now. Yeah, here we go. He's going to run off right here. So I'm going to leave you guys with a little clip of the fawns with their dad coming through here in just a second. There's a pretty good shot of him right there with his first set of babies. So all right. I want to thank you guys for watching.